What's up, everybody? This is Cool Dude, and welcome back to another tier list. And today we are going to be talking about the wonderful, wonderful world of Jackbox Party Pack. Jackbox. Really love it a lot. I'm going to be honest, I didn't really know what this was for a long time. Up until, I think about a year and a half ago when I found Jackbox Party Pack 1 on the Xbox store. And I'm like, oh, what is this? What is this? We have to try it. I have to try it. And then from there, I discovered, oh, look, they have a third game. Oh, look, they have a fourth one. Oh, look, there's a fifth one. And look, they're on the way to develop a sixth one. And then I've been following it ever since, and I'm really hyped for the eighth one coming out. Seventh one was a good one. So I thought, why don't I make a tier list of it? Because I've played quite a few of them enough, then I think I should, reasonably have my own opinion about how the games are. Now, these are the individual games, hopefully, as you can tell from what's on screen right now. This is not the individual packs altogether. This is just the games within those packs. And there are a few things I'd like to get out of the way first, though, before we start. The never playeds are all the ones that I've never played. You'll notice that all of them are Jackbox Party Pack 2 and Jackbox Party Pack 5. Now, let me explain the reasoning for that. Party Pack 2 was because for some reason I skipped over it. I don't know why I skipped over it. I think it was, I didn't notice it at the time because it was like at the bottom of the store for some reason, and then I just saw it was three. There was a third one, and I'm like, oh, this looks fun, let me try that. So who knows, I might get around to playing the second one soon if I decide to download it. And the reason I didn't get 5 was because it looked really bad. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't hooked. That was the only party pack out of the list that I was not hooked on. I've seen gameplays of Patently Stupid, and that's fun, but that looks about the only fun one on there. And then the first Quiplash, because that's with the second one. Doesn't count and then don't know are all the ones that technically shouldn't be on the list. But for some reason this tier list, whoever made this tier list decided to include them, so whatever. Fibbage for some reason is on here, like Fibbage, not Fibbage XL. I think they're basically the same game, so I'm just gonna leave it and don't know and doesn't count because it doesn't count. There's Fibbage XL, so deal with it. Drawful 2, I have no idea why that's on here because that's its own separate game. Many could argue that it is still a Jackbox game because it's a sequel to a Jackbox Party Pack game, but A, I haven't played it, and B, I don't think that should count if it's its own separate game with, its own features and all that. So, for that reason, I'm not going to count it. Sorry, I had a frog in my throat. Anyway, the You Don't Know Jack Classic Pack Bundle, because I don't know what the hell that means or what it is. I'm not going to count it, though, because it doesn't sound like it should count. And then for some reason, this Quiplash 2, probably another, Lashing Edition or whatever. I can't read this thing. It's so small. And this doesn't count either, because I think it's the same thing as Quiplash 2, but, I don't know, a little bit more stuff, so it doesn't count. With that out of the way, here are the rankings. The lists is the D is the 1 to 0 out of 10. That's what this means. So it's going to be like a 1 to 0 out of 10. These are the really bad ones. The C is the 4 to 2 out of 10. So these are like the meh, the whatever, the decent ones. The B is the 7 to 5 out of 10. So this is like the decent. We're getting better. It's good. A is the 9 to 8 out of 10, which is really, really good. And then S, 10 out of 10, is the perfect classic games that anybody can play, everybody should play, and I highly recommend. So with that out of the way, let's get started with the first Jackbox Party Pack games. So starting with You Don't Know Jack 2015. I believe this was their first game ever. And I actually got around to playing around recently because I revisited the game, and I'm going to be completely honest, I wasn't feeling this one. I really was not feeling this one. I think the problem with this game is that there are way too many animations in it. There are just way too much, like jokes and way too many breaks and animations in between that are more kind of tedious than fun to put up with. That's cool in a Jackbox game. I think you can tell this is their first game because you can tell this is when they're starting to trying to figure out what's the perfect balance of joke and funny stuff for everyone to see and gameplay. This one really is severely lacking gameplay, so for that I'm going to put it at a 2 out of 10, so that's going to go in C. It's not quite awful, it's not the worst, because I do get some enjoyment out of, the screw mechanic, and the final round is pretty fun, I'm not going to lie, the final round's cool. To be honest, the final round, it makes a better game than the actual game we got in that one, but that's just my opinion again. This is all my opinion as well. Let me just put that out right now. It's all my opinion, so don't be a whiny crybaby about it and say, F you, dude, I like the idiots, and I like the... I don't care. I don't care. It's all my opinion. Who cares? I don't care what you think, alright? It's all my opinion. You can share it in a respectful manner. If you're gonna be a little whiny baby about it, then I couldn't care less. So, Lie Swatter. This one, oh boy, this one is, This one is going to be a 3 out of 10. It's slightly better than this one. Those in the front are going to be better, by the way. That's how I'm putting them. Shut up, it makes sense. Lie Squatter is slightly better than You Don't Know Jack because I guess it's like, I like the concept, but in terms of the gameplay, it's way too basic and it's way too tiresome. Because literally it's just either truth or a lie. The only real, like, fun part of it, the bonus points, is if you get it quicker than everyone else. Which, that still leaves you a 50-50 chance. You could play the entire game just by randomly picking truth or lie, and you'll most likely get some points. And that's honestly how I win most of the time. I don't even really bother to ponder if it's a truth or a lie, because I know, like, if I go quicker, then I'll earn more points. So this one is a bit lacking in terms of the overall execution. Like, I see the concept, I see the overall concept of it, but it just did not do well in the execution. Oh my god, Word Spud. Yeah, that's an easy 0. I hate Word Spud. The fact that this is a party pack game is actually ridiculous. This game feels very incomplete, and it only makes sense if you actually have played Word Spud. Maybe I'm just not the target audience for it, but I see absolutely zero amount of, like, hardcore concrete gameplay, because you're filling in words, you're completing words to make another word. Cool, but then everyone else gets to vote if they like it or not. What kind of stupid mechanic is that? What's stopping everybody from saying, no, I don't like it, screw you, we're gonna take away some points? What's stopping everybody from saying I like it? What's the point? Like, there should have been a better way to earn points in that game. Like, because the way they do it, it's very flimsy, it's very bad, and it's like, oh my god, I can't get over it. Like, and I tried so many times trying to play rounds, but I'm just like, it's boring, it's not very, like, concrete in terms of the rules and the gameplay, and it's just so bland. It's so bland, man. So, Word Spud, yeah, that's a 0 out of 10. That one's bad. Fibbage XL. Now we're getting to the good stuff. Fibbage is a good game. Fibbage is the one where you have to make up a lie about the other, stuff. Fibbage is the, you get, like, a ridiculous prompt, and there's, like, a fill in the blank, and you basically type in a lie to the other players as an answer and hope that they choose it to give you points. But you also want to find out what the true answer is to get, like, all the points. So Fibbage is a really good game. It's a great start game. Well, the only 2 games in the first pack that I think that are worth it, to be honest. This is going to get a 7 out of 10. It's a very decent start. It's a very decent game. I like it a lot. It has quite a bit of replay value. It's not too complicated. But it has the right amount of difficulty to make it a challenge to win, but it's, not impossible. It's good. So that's a B for a 7 out of 10. Drawful. I love Drawful. Drawful's a fun game, and I like the fact that you don't get an eraser, which a lot of people are annoyed by, I guess including myself when I started out playing, but in a way that makes it all the more fun when you mess up, and I just kind of have to go with it. So, yeah, Drawful is really good. Might not be the best if you're not an artist like me. Like, it might, but then again, it might also make it funnier. This one is just, it's a riot. It's a riot to play. It's loads of fun. It's a fun, funny game. It's great. So I'm gonna give it. Should I give it S? Should I give it an S? I'll give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10. Drawful. Now we're getting to Jackbox Party Pack 3 games, starting with Quiplash 2. Now, why would I go straight from Quiplash 1 to Quiplash 2? I don't know, but that's just me. That's just how weird and messed up I am. Quiplash 2, it's fun. I like Quiplash, the whole idea of it. The picking the better answers. That's really fun. The only problem with me when I play, I'm not funny, and I almost never get picked as an answer. But it's funny to see other people's, like, sense of humor really shine through in that game. So that one is going to also get a 9 out of 10. Should I put it slightly better than Drawful? I like Drawful better. That's just my personal take. I like Drawful a little better, but that's still really good. 9 out of 10. TKO, another drawing game. Basically, you write slogans to put on a t-shirt, and you draw on a t-shirt. Which you basically put it together, and you make your own custom t-shirts, and the best t-shirt wins. You get, like, people have to vote for them, and whoever, their t-shirt wins at the end, like, it wins, because there's a whole gauntlet. It's like a tournament style kind of game with this one. TKO, it can kind of vary. This one varies the enjoyment factor. It depends on how funny you can make your shirts, or how well you can make your shirts. If you have good artists, if you have bad artists, if you don't have any creative geniuses, this could be one of the worst games to play. But if you have the right audience and you have the right people who are down for a little bit of fun, like, creative designing, this could be a fun one. So I'm gonna put it at a 5 out. I'm gonna put it at a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10. It's a perfect middle of the road kind of game. Like, it can't be fun, and most everyone can play it and pick it up, but it's all about, like, if it's really, really super fun. that's the whole thing with TKO. It really just depends on the player. Ooh, Trivia Murder Party. It's an easy S, baby. Like, everything, the narrator, the guy hosting it is so funny. The gameplay is really good. It's a nice mixture of knowledge and also just pure random chance and luck. And I like the whole final round is iconic. Everything about this game is just so iconic. It's eye-catching, and it's like, it's the game, like, I absolutely love. It's my absolute favorite Jackbox Party Pack game, like, original that has, like, sequels. If you want to, like, know what my favorite, like, franchise Jackbox Party Pack game is, that's Trivia Murder Party for me. It's really fun. So, yeah, I just, nothing else to say. It's perfect. It's awesome. Guesspionage. Guesspionage is the game where you have to guess what percentage of people would do certain things, and one player has to guess the percentage, and the other has to say, like, higher or lower, if the actual thing is going to be higher or lower, and they get points based off of their correct assumptions or their incorrect assumptions. This one is honestly a bit lacking. Like, I see the idea, it's a cute concept, but the concept itself is kind of like, like, it's a bit, like, meh. I cannot really see myself revisiting this too much. Like, I'd like to play it every once in a while, but not too often. I'm gonna give this honestly a 2 out of 10. I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10. It's slightly better than Lie Swatter. I think it has a little bit more replayability than Lie Swatter, just because, you know, it's actually, like, skill involved, but at the same time, it's still not exactly great. So yeah, it's gonna get a 4 out of 10 for that. Faking It. Faking It is an interesting one. Faking It is the one where everyone gets a prompt on their device to do. Like, raise your hand if you've ever, I don't know, farted. That's the example they give when you start up the game. But there's also going to be an imposter that says, just raise your hand to try to blend in with the group. So it's your job to catch the faker, and the faker has to create lies and deceptions to fool the other players to believing it's not them. This one is, it's kind of like TKO, but a lot more radical TKO in the case of that. It depends on the people you're playing with. If you're playing with complete strangers, it's going to be a bit of a challenge depending on how well you know those strangers, if well you know your friends. If you're playing with, like, close friends, close family members, this is going to be a really, really fun game. It's not as, like, reliant on knowing everybody as role models, but Faking It is still a pretty good one. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. I like this one. This is really, really good. It's Faking It's a nice game, but again, depending on, like, how well you know everybody, it can be really hard or super easy, so I guess that's why it's not, like, perfect for me. Alright, we're on to Jackbox Party Pack 4, Bracketeering. This one really is underwhelming. I'm gonna put it at a 2 out of 10. Right there with You Don't Know Jack. This one is just, like, the final round is cool, just because it's, like, you know, the bracket changes every single round. It's basically like you enter in two answers to put, or like answers to put in a bracket of a certain topic, like the best name, what would Benedict Cumberbatch's name be as a vegetable, all that stuff, and like you vote for your favorites, and the answer that goes on the end, like that person wins the points for that. But this one is just very, like, it drags a lot. This one is really, it feels incomplete. It's kind of like Lie Swatter. Like, I see the concept, but it's kind of lacking for me. Civic Doodle. This is the one where you get a little bit of piece of a picture and you kind of have to fill it in with your own additions. I can't speak. Civic Doodle is one that's okay. This one's an okay game. It's gonna go at 5 out of 10 with TKO, because I don't know, the concept and the idea is kind of and the gameplay itself is also kind of Like, it's pretty much what you'd expect. It doesn't really do anything else outside of the boundaries to make you go like, wow, that was cool. I want to replay that again and again and again and again, you know? So that one's a 5 out of 10 because, yeah, it's just kind of whatever. The whatever of the pack. Fibbage 3! The addition of the Fibbage Enough About You is a nice little addition to the Fibbage thing. You get basically to lie about yourself and the other players. That could be fun if you're playing with family members and all that. Aside from that, it's just more Fibbage, which I like. It's also a better Fibbage, so I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10, right behind Quiplash 2 and Drawful. So yeah, Fibbage 3 is really good. I like it a lot. Monster Seeking Monster. I know quite a few people like the game. I'm not one of those people. I just personally don't like overcomplicated Jackbox Party Pack games. If I'm playing a Jackbox Party Pack game, this is the first thing you gotta know. I like Party Pack games that are simplistic, they're easy to grasp, with enough, easy to grasp either on the first playthrough or with, like, just replaying it over and over. or just it's like easy for others to get. It's like easy to like get a party out of it, and it's replay value. Those are the 4 things I really look for in a Jackbox Party Pack game. Monster Seeking Monster for me is just way too complicated. I feel like you have to strategize way too much on that game, and I like the style. It's a cool style. It's one of the more stylistic games out of all the Jackbox Party Pack ones. I like the whole like theme and the concept of it, but it's just way too complicated gameplay wise, and it feels almost impossible to win with certain monsters. It feels like you have to get lucky with the right monster in order to win, and you have to know what you're doing with that monster, and if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to have a fun time with the game. It just feels like it's going to be impossible to play. So because of that alone, I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Like, it's slightly more enjoyable than Espionage because at least I can see the idea and the concept of it shine through, but still, it's just really... it's overcluttered. It's way too much. It tried way too hard to do too much, and yeah, it's not one I can get behind. And I know if I played it like more and more, I can get strategized with it, but like, I don't want to do that in a party pack game. I don't want to be with my friends and be like, hey, want to play this super hard strategy game? I know all about the tricks. Good luck figuring them out on your own. It doesn't sound fun, so I'm going to put that at 4 out of 10. Survive the Internet. Survive the Internet is basically just the Internet in general. Just trying to be the most cruel, awful person ever with your prompts. This one is, interesting. This one's an interesting one. I'm gonna put it at a 6 out of 10, slightly below faking it. Simply because, like, I don't know, it's cool. It's a fun one, but it's like, kind of just, it's there. It's a cool game, but it's there. It's nothing, like, memorable. It's nothing that, like, great about it, but it is fun. It's a good concept. I think it's a bit tricky to get on the first go through, because depending on your knowledge of the internet and all that stuff. But other than that, it's cool. Now we're getting on to Jackbox Party Pack 6. We're getting close to the end here, folks. And oh god, Joke Boat. Here's the thing with Joke Boat. I like the idea. I really do. I like the idea. That's the whole thing with a lot of these party pack games. I do like the idea, but my god, this is awful. And again, it really depends on the people you're playing with, because the people I play with are not comedians. We're not comedians at all. We are terrible, and so we put terrible prompts at the beginning, and when we actually have to fill in the blanks with the jokes, it's really bad. But I don't think it's all because of that. I think the prompts themselves, after like 2 or 3 playthroughs, you start seeing repeats. You start seeing repeats of the same joke prompt, and there's only so many times you can make that funny before it's like, okay, that's whatever. It's like, that's not funny anymore. That's the thing. It's really hard to make a good joke out of it. It's really hard to get some laughs. I mean, you can have some laughs at how terrible the jokes are, but I mean, it's not really the point. I don't think so. So I'm honestly going to give this... I don't think I'm cruel enough to give it 4. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10 because, like, I see the idea is really cool, and it can be funny in terms of like how bad it is, how bad like your jokes are and all that. You can have a few laughs, but I don't know. It feels really hard to like actually play the game properly on that one. Dictionarium, that one's going at a 0. I hate Dictionarium with all my heart, with all my buttocks. Dictionarium, it's just a game that I'm just like, what is this? What am I doing? Okay, so you have to create a word, right? And then based on that word, there's a definition. You create a word based on that definition, and then you have to do a synonym on that word for some reason, and then you have to use it in a sentence. But like, what else is there? Like, what else? That's it? Like, that's all you're... I feel like from the start, this one was kind of doomed for me. This one is... what? I don't get this game, and we've tried to replay it a few times with people. I've tried to do it, and every time it ends, I'm just kind of like, alright, that happened. We just wasted a few minutes of our life doing that. So yeah, Dictionarium sucks. It sucks really bad for me. I cannot get behind that one. Push the button. This one's basically Among Us, but worse. There's way too much instructions on that one. Every time I've had to play with a tutorial because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know what any stuff is. And like, I wish there was a more concrete way for like the system to work, because aliens have 2 hacks in that one, which can hack like the aliens to get like human prompts and humans to get alien prompts, which can really throw people off, which I know is the point, but it's like, it can really overcomplicate things, and it feels impossible for like, you know, the humans to win or the aliens to win, depending on how well they can play it. So push the button is like, it's the same deal as Monster Seeking Monster. It's just way too much. But also, Among Us exists, and it's a way better version of this game. So this one's gonna go at a 3 out of 10, like right below. Like, no, I'll put it above Last Water, but I'm gonna put it below Guespionage, because at least with Guespionage you can get it. You can get the concept of it. It may not be like the most fun or thrilling one, but you get what it's supposed to be. Push the button is just like, okay, what are we doing? It's really, really hard to like get an idea of the game. You probably have to play it like over again to do it. But like, if I'm like over confused on the first playthrough, why would I want to play it anymore? That's my like thought about that one. Role models. Role models is not really one to play with friends, in my opinion. I mean, maybe really close friends, but not like people you like online or like on the internet, which I know a lot of people like to do, or YouTubers and all that. Like, they want to play Jackbox online with their viewers. Role models is not one of those games to play with them, but if you can get the right people who know you, that this one could be fun, and it's funny to just see the roles that they give you. I wish there was a better way of a point system, because it feels like when the game ends, you're just kind of like, oh, I won. Okay, I don't know how I won, but cool, I'll take it. It just feels more like, it's like, hey, it feels more like a overblown, like a BuzzFeed trivia. Like, what are you? Which character are you and all that, which is fine, but it's not really much of a game. I'm going to put it at 5 out of 10, slightly above Joke Boat, because I get more enjoyment out of role models than I do with Joke Boat. Like, actual enjoyment than with Joke Boat. Not just laughing about how bad things are. Ooh, Trivia Murder Party 2, yes, please. It's more Trivia Murder Party, which is really good. More characters, more death traps, and more mayhem and mischief. I also have this thing where it's like a present. There's like the wig, and there's like Grandpa's glasses and all that, which if you win at the end, like, you have to solve one more bonus question to like win and prove you're like the host's real grandma or mother or, you know, father and all that, which is really, really funny. So yeah, this one, it's the best in the pack. It really carries Party Pack 6 for me. It really does carry the whole thing. Blather Round. This one is the one where you have to describe something, like a topic like Moby Dick, but you have to use very like weird ways of doing it. Like, there's like fill in the blank prompts with all these weird words and all that, and you can't really describe it the way you want to. So Blather Round is honestly, it's pretty decent. I like it because it's kind of like, it's my kind of party pack game. Again, like, it's easy to grasp, it's relatively simple to get the concept of, and I can get behind how ridiculous it can be. And I think maybe it's confusing for some on like the first playthrough, but if you can play a few more rounds of it, if you could stick with it, I think you'll have a lot of fun with this one. So I'm going to give Blather Round an 8 out of 10, honestly. Below Fibbage 3. Blather Round's really good. It's a good one. Quiplash 3. I like the claymation feel to this one. I like the final round a lot better in this one than the second one, and yeah, I just like the overall feel of it. It's still Quiplash, but there's a few more additions that make it really... Additions, god damn it. My tongue can't talk correctly. A few additions that make it a little better, so I'm going to put it above Quiplash 3. And I'll even say above Drawful, honestly. I think Quiplash 3 is better than Drawful. Devil's in the Details. This one is easily the most, like, unique, stylized Jackbox Party Pack game out of all of them. It could tell so much effort went into creating like the world and the universe of this, and like the character models and the theme song. My God, the theme song! I know all these games technically have a theme song of sorts, well, most of them anyway, but like not to like the extent of the Devil's in the Details. It's really, really good. I think the thing with the Devil's in the Details is that it really depends on the people you're playing with. If you don't have good communication with any of them, if you want to play solo, this one's going to be a really hard one to get enjoyment out of. But if you can actually, like, collectively work together, maybe do some selfish tasks here and there, and, like, that could be really, it's a fun, chaotic game. I think there could have been a better system for winning individually. Like, I know it's, like, whoever helps with the most tasks and all that stuff, but I don't know, like, I wish there could have been a more concrete way to do that. But that's just me. Devil's in the Details, it's a fun one, but you really have to stick with it, because on the first playthrough, I honestly didn't like this one. Like, I liked the style of it, but I just didn't like the gameplay. But I played it a few more times, and I'm warming up to it. So I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. Above Fibbage 3, below Quiplash 2 and all those. Devil's in the Details is solid. It's a solid new game edition, and it's very, very, like, great. Talking Points. I like this one a lot, but that's because I like improv. I really love improv stuff. Talking Points is like, you have a PowerPoint presentation, but you have information on it, but you have no idea what the picture is going to be, and you have to explain how the picture correlates to what you're saying in the PowerPoint. And like the person who's presenting can draw, and they really have to like think outside the box here. And people again vote, like they upvote if they like it, or they just down if they don't like it, where it's going. So talking points, it really depends on the people you're playing with again. So if you have the right people who like this sort of improv kind of comedy and enjoyment, then this could be really fun. But if you don't have that, might be a little bit of a drag. So I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10, above Civic Doodle and Survive the Internet, because I like the concept of this one. But again, that's me because I like improv. So talking points is big for me. Finally, Champed Up. I really love Champed Up. Champed Up is, again, the style is really cool with the wrestling gimmick. And the whole concept of creating a champion and then like drawing another champion opponent, seeing the matchups that can ensue is hilarious sometimes, and seeing the equally bad or really great drawings is also really good. I get a lot of enjoyment. It's one of my favorite of the drawing games. Better than Drawful even. Or not better than Drawful, but like on par with Drawful, I think. So I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. Honestly, Champed Up. Party Pack 7 was a really solid pack. I really like it a lot. It makes me hyped for what they got for Party Pack 8. So, alright, looking at this tier list, is there any placements I want to change? Honestly, Drawful's an S. I'm gonna give it an S. This one's the best of the drawing games. It's simplistic, it's easy to grasp, it's funny. It's funny, like even if you're a bad drawer or a good drawer, it's just all the more hilarious to see what people will come up with. Drawful is a solid S. Drawful, Turbo Murder Party, and Turbo Murder Party 2, the S games. Bother Around, Fibbage 3, Vivid Details, Quiplash 2, Jamped Up, and Quiplash 3 are all on the A. That feels about right. 7, 5 out of 10, these all did the good, the fine ones. Joke Boat, this one's really on the way to be a C, though. Maybe I'll change that. Maybe I'll change it to be a C. You know what? Joke Boat, I'm not a fan of you. I'm just gonna put this... I'm gonna put it above Monster Seeking Monster, but that's, I'm being generous there. So Role Models, 5 out of 10, 2KO, Civic Doodle, Survive the Internet, Civic Doodle starting 6 out of 10, Talking Points, Faking It, and Fibbage being the 7 out of 10. I like that. That's cool. I think I like that. You Don't Know Jack at 2 out of 10 because I don't know, and that one's really like. It just feels like it's their first game, but like I get it. They're trying to find their footing on that one. Bracketeering, Ice Water, Push the Button, Espionage, Monster Seeking Monster, and Joke Boat. Monster Seeking Monster, I just feel bad because it's, I'm being too harsh on it. I'm gonna put it at a 6 out of 10. Like I like the style of it. That's only because I like the theme and the style of it. So I'm gonna put it above Survive the Internet, but below Talking Points. That's just for me. And then Espionage and Joke Boat. And the only two games out of the Jackbox Party Pack roster that I've played, mind you, because I haven't played all of them, that I do not like is Word Spud, because it's just boring as hell, and like there's no game to it. Like there's literally no game, and Dictionarium, because it is a boring concept and an equally boring execution. Those are the ones I just cannot ever see myself replaying. Like the 4 out of 2 out of 10s, I can see myself playing every once in a while if I'm feeling lucky. Maybe not these bottom two, You Don't Know Jack and Racketeering. But like these ones, like Life Squatter, Push the Button, Espionage, and Joke Boat, I can see myself playing from time to time. I can see myself coming back to it. None of these. I would not revisit any of these at all. I know I don't like them, so I'm not going to revisit them. And with that is going to wrap it up for this tier list. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I know this was quite a long one, but I don't know. I enjoyed talking about this one because I like Jackbox Party Pack. I really like it a lot. I'm glad I discovered it. It's fun. And I like playing it like quite a lot with people, with my family, with some of my friends, and quite a few people. And yeah, I can see the enjoyment out of it. And let me know how you would rank these Jackbox Party Pack games. Let me know what your favorites are down in the comments. Your favorite packs. What do you think of the placements? Are there any you disagree with? Any you agree with? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you don't care about Jackbox Party Pack and you want to leave me a comment, by all means, just leave me a comment, whatever you want. I'll read it a lot. As long as it's not a really bad comment, then I'll just scroll by and ignore it. So until next time, guys. Stay cool, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye, y'all.